So, kind of always wondered how I was gonna do this. And actually tell people some shit. So, it took me a long time to realize why I was so easy to set off. And I was an asshole before then, but not as bad. The man I have become today took a lot of time. And I'm not perfect by any means. But I worked pretty closely with some of the A&A guys when I was over there. We had a couple translators, real good guys. And we would visit the A&A batteries on my last deployment. We'd go out. I was part of CG's team, and we'd fly out to every fob, every little outpost. The guy liked to travel. He really loved soldiers. Major General Townsend, great guy. We flew to anything that was left open in RC East in 2014. Even some of the stuff that U.S. troops, if you know where I'm going with that, yeah. It was great. Time in Brocky Brock, I met a good SEAL team. It wasn't the role hospitals or... that shit was pretty hard to take. Taking pictures of guys getting Purple Hearts. It was pretty rough. But one time sticks out the most, man. We were coming back from Kaya or something. Just super simple day outside the wire. And normally, man, I just rack out in the bird because it's the only time I had to sleep. I just put my GoPro on, kind of hook the helmet in, see outside the bird. Unless I had to do photo op when we were trying to recon routes and the CG wanted specific, but then I'd ride with him. So, we were coming back and we seen some shit go down in front of us. Probably like 10, 15 clicks out. And we get on scene, and it's one of the A&A trucks hit some shit. And it was pretty gnarly. CG decided to put boots on ground. So him and the 3 security detail that he had with him are now on the ground pulling, perimeter to see if we can assess the situation and see if we can help in any way. Now, the dude is smart enough to realize there's probably more IEDs in the area, so they secure up so we can infill. There was a pilot disconnect. I won't talk shit about this pilot. I don't know what was going through his mind, but he decided to pull full collective when the CG went down. And so we lost radio contact with our team on our radios. So we're trying to use ICS in the bird, and the pilot cuts us off for whatever reason. There was a good hot wash after that, I'll tell you that. But I pull out my big lens. We fucking throw the door open, and I start assessing from the air, even though we have no comms on the ground. And I had a 300mm lens on, so I could get up in there. And I just start snapping photos for a debrief later. And to me at the time, and I've had a lot of time to think about this, at the time, I didn't see anybody alive. And I looked through a lot of photos trying to see we start seeing clouds forming on the horizon, a vehicle convoy moving our direction. We are just, I don't remember where we were at, but we didn't feel like we were as secure as we should have been. So day exfil, back on the bird, and we get back in comms, we're talking, they're asking if there's movement, no, so we go back to Bagram. During the hot wash, we're going over the disconnects and why we didn't infill and stuff like that, and the pilots were there. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting time to be in that brief. But me and the old man were looking at the photos later. I don't remember if I was looking in my mind and I brought them up to him, but anyways, I'm in his office and we're going over the photos of what I think was movement. And it was right about that time we got the report back that it was the ANA that showed up. I mean, they had PKMs and shit, so we didn't want to fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? Like, we got 2 Blackhawks with door gunners, bro, but there was like, I think it was like 11 vehicles with some heavy shit. But we didn't know who it was, because if you've been over there, fuck, man. Sometimes they wear fucking ANA shit, man, and they just hit you hard. But, so we didn't take the chance. And as we're discovering that there might have been one still alive, I mean, it was a pretty bad sight. Yeah, we found out from a report from the jock that one of them died en route to the hospital. And man, that feeling. If we would have got that dude on the bird. And to me, like, some people were like, oh, dude, it was just the ANA. Fuck that, man. They died alongside us trying to do what they thought was right, too. I mean, I felt just as bad as when I found out my mentor died, man. Like, it's rough. And then, like, not alone on this, I guarantee that shit. But watching the withdrawal, bro. The fuck I gave my 20s and 30s for, man. I had to fight through all that. Plus a fucking plethora more. I was angry. I was angry at fucking everything, man. Then I fucking got leukemia. Boy, you want to talk about a dick punch? Ooh. You can ask everybody in the hospital. I was the most cheery motherfucker ever. And I didn't know why for a long time. Man, that time between when I got medically retired and I got leukemia, every chance the government had, they fucked me, man. Just decreased my rating. Tried to go back to school, couldn't keep my shit together. Fucking went to a town hall that's video evidence and stood up and asked them if what happened to me could happen to me. And both the VBA president and the VA president, local presidents, were like, no, no, no. And then I was like, that happened to me, man. Like, the amount of stuff that happened since I retired is wild. Like, I got kicked off SSDI because I asked a doctor that wanted me to get x-rays that knew I had cancer, blood cancer. I asked her if she was a doctor in this field, and she took offense to it, and I was kicked off SSDI like 10 days later or some shit with no notice. And I fought through that. And I went in front of a judge right before I came out here to Ford. And all I said was, just talk to my doctors. Don't take my word for it. Talk to my doctors. Don't read their reports. Please just talk to them, Your Honor. And if they tell you that I should go back to work, then cool. But all of them are like, bro, nah. And I pushed through all that when I got this opportunity at Ford. Man, because welding makes me feel like I have potential. Like, I love doing it. I don't know why. It's just, it feels so great. But this leukemia, man, it gave me a change in perspective. I had already been talking to a lot of vets and trying to listen, but I didn't want to hear a lot of what they were saying. Man, sometimes we just go through some rough shit to get perspective on life. Sometimes people don't change. Sometimes people change for the worst. When I got leukemia, it humbled the shit out of me. I've had it for 4 years doing chemo. Every single day. First chemo I was on, fucking sent me back to the hospital. Fucked me up. This chemo I've been on for like 3.5 years, and it's still rough. I try to keep my shit together so people don't have to worry about me. Like, that's what society and this system did to me, man. Like, I don't want to become a burden to anybody. Doesn't matter what the fuck I went through. I'm not saying that's the right mentality at all, but that's just how I live, man. I try to be the good to make up for all that bad shit. Like, man, why not have that guy that's just wants to talk to everybody and compliment them or hear them out? Like, I got time for that, man. People say they ain't got time, man. You gotta make time for things. Man, for me, coming out here being immunocompromised, doing this cancer shit, man, it's a risk, but some risks are worth it. You just gotta weigh out. I was dying in a fucking garage, man. Like, this place just feels fucking amazing. It makes me miss my family every single day, because that was the only people I interacted with, man. Unless I was like going to the welding store, which is like I'd run into like one dude. Man, you do the wrong thing. Like, didn't even have to affect me, and I just lose my shit, man, for no reason. And I get mad at myself because I understood what I did wasn't right, but like, it's like, I couldn't control that beast, bro. Fucking, sometimes life's just rough to people. Sometimes it's only rough, man. Until this organization emailed me back and said, man, you get to pick the dates. And I was like, I don't care if it's cold in Detroit. I want to go. And everybody's like, what, you're going to Detroit in December? Man, I reached out a lot, man. Different organizations, different places, to see if I could get something like this. And I get it, man. It's not easy to put up this much money for people. It is nice to know that some people do it, and some people do love doing it. Like, after that leukemia humbled me, man. It just, was like a fucking switch went off, man, at the hospital, man. I didn't cry about getting cancer. Wasn't sad. I was in the hospital for, man, I think it was like a week before we even knew what the fuck was going on. My white blood cell count was like 60,000. I was literally, it felt like I was drowning, man. Like, that's what leukemia does, man. It just overpopulates your white blood cells to where you just can't get oxygen, man. Like, you're just gasping for air. And I was stubborn, man. Like, my wife woke me up. I'm like, I'm good. I seen that charge nurse's face when I got to the ER. Ooh, buddy. That's when I knew I had to take some shit serious, man. Yeah, I still got bad tendencies. Yeah, I still got bad habits, man. Makes me feel kind of normal, I tell people. And they're like, that's fucking wild, bro. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man, to get the day through. Sometimes we do shit that ain't healthy, man. I don't advocate bad shit, but I'll just drop my headphone. But I advocate for bad shit, man. Just try to do it in moderation. Cut it down. It's healthier, man. You want to live a long time. You don't want to get old as fuck and be frail. I'm 41, man. My back is destroyed. Man, I got a pinched nerve that I'm just like, oh yeah, while I'm welding. I still love to be here. I still push through it, man, because I don't know if SSDI is gonna hook me up. Like, man, I just gotta deal with all this shit. Government keeps fucking with my retirement. Man, my CRSC gets garnished. Like, it's fucking wild. Somehow I still have this mentality. I'll just front this shit. I just forced myself to do it for so long that it's natural now, man. Genuinely love being this friendly to people. I genuinely love hearing what people have to say. Genuinely love hearing people rant to me, man, because maybe if I get some shit off their back, man, they can be happy for 5-10 minutes. I don't care if they're some random person, man. If I'm there and they're doing it, I also am fine if somebody tells me to go fuck myself. Can't please everybody. Yeah, man. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this video, but damn, this felt good.